It's how I keep the party going, you know. Oh, yeah! Tiff and the Punisher! Tiff and the Punisher! Tiff and the Punisher! Oh! Tiff and the Punisher! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Tiff and the Punisher. We are the Punisher Band. I'm Tiff. Tiff and the Punisher. And we're here to rock you. Tiff and the Punisher. We're here to save your children. Tiff and the Punisher. And fight against the evil CPS. Tiff and the Punisher. We're gonna stuff the Constitution down their throats. Tiff and the Punisher. Oh, yeah! Tiff and the Punisher. Keep the party going, y'all. Tiff and the Punisher. Let's get it on. Tiff and the Punisher. Here we go. Tiff and the Punisher. Come on. Tiff and the Punisher. Oh, Tiff and the Punisher. Here we go. Tiff and the Punisher. Oh, oh, let's go! Tiff and the Punisher. We're here to save your children. Tiff and the Punisher. And fight against the evil CPS. Tiff and the Punisher. We gotta stuff the Constitution down the throats. Tiff and the Punisher. Oh, yeah! Tiff and the Punisher. Keep the party going, y'all. Tiff and the Punisher. Let's get it up. Tiff and the Punisher. Here we go. Tiff and the Punisher. Come on. Tiff and the Punisher. Oh, Tiff and the Punisher. Here we go. Tiff and the Punisher. Oh.
Family is the most important thing we have.
It's about time we stand up for the kids.
Let's go!
They are taking our kids every day. I try them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Tiff, this is what One-Eyed Willie looked like.
Well, you better leave Mary alone. Stop doing them karate chops on your ass.
Yeah. At least I only told her once. I'm smart enough after just one time. That's it. Jesus almighty, this is awful. I didn't realize how bad it was. I can't see anything.
Benadryl.
Yeah, something. Look at the side of my face is red and everything. That does look like you kicked me, doesn't it?
No, I think you got bit by a spider. I would put some ice on it.
I did not get bit by a spider. I did not get bit by a spider. Never, ever.
You don't know that. You swallowed 10 in your whole lifetime, so don't give me that shit. You don't know what bit you.
Tiff, I know it wasn't a spider.
Did your cat fuck you up in the middle of the night like mine did?
That could be a possibility. I probably pissed it off. Oh, my wife's bringing me Benadryl. Like, that's going to help. She knows she punched me. Yeah. How about a bag of ice, Mary? That would be much better.
Yeah, you need some Benadryl, too, because if it is some kind of reaction, the antihistamine will help the swelling.
Catherine, do you want to come on today? We had someone call out. If you want to come in, you're more than welcome.
Yes. She wants to know how to get on the show.
Yeah, this is how we do it. What's up, everybody? Let's see.
So I can't leave Darren alone because his wife beat him
Yeah,
up.
leave me alone for 10 minutes. Yeah, it's all fun and games till I go to sleep. You know, good Lord. You know, it's bad enough that I have narcolepsy, but now I have one eye shut already. Jesus, I don't stand a chance staying awake for nothing.
Oh, you just cracked me up.
Yeah, I'm glad we can all get something out of my misfortune. I really feel bad for people that can only see out of one eye. This is awful. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Speaking of one-eyed vision, Catherine, if you want to come in, I'll tell you what, you don't have to, but I'll put the link up here. If you want to hop in and you got to tell us your story and shoot the breeze with us, you're more than welcome to. If you want to go further down, go to cpsbreakingnews.com, fill out the form on there, and then you can request what show you want to come on and so on and so forth. But hey, if you want to come in right now, there's the link. Hop on in. Prid works great if something bit me. I don't know what Prid is. Alicia, what is Prid?
It's a little orange container. It does work, but it's brown. So it's good.
Oh, like drawing salve. That drawing salve
it's
stuff.
It's going to look like you got shit on your face.
Yeah, I probably do anyway. I know. Yeah, drawing staff. Yes, I know exactly what you're speaking about. I have some right over there, actually.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So, did you hear the news?
What news?
Tanawa's stepping down.
Okay, so
He's falling out.
this is what I'm going to say. We have told people many, 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 many times, be careful who you follow, because I know for a fact there's only me and one other person besides the lawyer that I work with, 3 of us who've been doing this over 30 years. This is not for everybody. I don't care what the reason is that he dropped out. I don't care listen to me. He has that right. And just because he dropped out doesn't mean that you have to give up hope, because giving up hope to me is a failure, and we can't fail. We have to continue. I don't care if it just ends up just being me, Darren Gunner, and everybody on our little clique, because if everybody drops out, then what? Nothing's going to get done.
It'll just be me. It'll just be us. And then we'll get the 1 million that we need to make everybody realize that there's a, maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is a survival of the fittest.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be competing with everybody, right? Because
Exactly, we shouldn't be. But maybe all these different advocates are doing exactly what is happening. Is we're spreading our numbers out. Everybody's trying to race to get to this finish line. Why are they trying to race to get to the finish line? What? They're going to get a Rocky statue of themselves on the Capitol? No, that's not going to happen. Look, you're going to get $1 billion in a year. Everybody's going to forget about it anyway. So who cares about the glory? Just get the goddamn billion.
right. Speaking of that, my first meeting for this committee here in Virginia is Thursday, I think at noon.
Sweet.
And I'm going to have 4 once a month until November. And we're working on all kinds of bills. And I've read the bills, and I am going to be hitting up everybody, every delegate. It doesn't matter if they're in my district or not. We need these bills passed, period, end of story.
Mhm.
I don't want no parts of it. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pushing for the support. I don't want my name involved. I don't even care about that. For me, it's not.
Yeah, you want it to be called Tiffany's bill.
No, I don't want the notoriety. What I want
She wants a picture. She wants her picture up there, just like that,
no.
just like the one behind me.
What I want is real change. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want. How about real changes? Get rid of this goddamn CPS. Period.
Yeah.
I mean that's what's there. That's what we got. That's what we really need. That's what we all really hope for, is abolish this damn system. But we know they're not going to, because there's too much money involved.
Well, I don't know.
So we know that that's true.
I don't know, because Trump is cutting a lot of stuff. And
Well, this is. Do you think that Trump's just waiting? And we got Margaret waiting in the back here, but do you think that Trump is just waiting? Like, this is just the next round of. What's up, Chris? Do you think that this is the next round of what Trump's fight is? I mean, because he's been letting out little pieces, and I don't know if you're into the conspiracy things. It's not conspiracy, number one. But what Trump is really doing is he's taking the deep state out. That's what he's doing, and that's what he's been doing. And there's a lot of talk about how Joe Biden, that was a whole play, and that this whole thing's been a movie that we've been watching and all of this stuff. And I don't know how much you're willing to go and read into that stuff. And I'm a believer in that stuff. I believe that this is all true, that Trump's been, doing exactly what he said was, draining out the swamp, that 45-47 is a military operation and all of that stuff. But either way, do you think that he's just been waiting to make this, because this is such a big issue? Because I know that there is a lady that Henry showed us the other night that is going to Washington, and that Melania Trump asked her to come and talk to her about the whole foster children and all of that. I know that did happen, and we played that video here. I don't know if you know the lady or not. Did you see the video? No.
no.
I put it up on the site, I believe, somewhere. But let me see if I can pull up just a piece of that. And Margaret, I see
Well,
you
while
back
you
there.
do that,
Yeah.
now I will tell you that this whole weekend that Trump has been saying that he's going to nationalize DC. Well, technically he can because DC is not a state. Then I hear these news people, and I don't really watch the news. I really only watch one person. He said, "Oh yeah, Trump is going to take on all the states and make them federal." And I said, "Well, hell, that'd be great."
Right. Well, I mean, we've had this war already. It's called the Civil War. That's what we fought over. That's why 1 million Americans lost their lives, was to go over a federal government or a state-run government. That's what that war was all about. So I don't understand how 200 something years later we're still arguing the same things. You would
Well,
think 1 million Americans, losing blood over this stuff, that we would, have figured it out, but I guess we haven't. And you see that in these courtrooms, and you see it, and we're all guilty of doing this, but we're all guilty of, oh, well, the states didn't have a remedy for us and this, that, and the other, but let's go look at the federal government to give us a hand in this stuff. It's like, wait a minute, what? No, if the states can't figure it out, it's supposed to be kept amongst the states. Right? Like that's where it's supposed to stay.
well, the states aren't going to do anything. They're not going to remedy anything because that means they're going to lose money.
Yeah.
So, do I think that the whole system should be federalized? I don't know. What do I think that they should federalize all the courts? Yeah, because then they are bound, even though they're bound now. Then you'll be dealing with federal judges, Article 3 judges, real judges.
Yep. That's the truth. That's the truth, Tiff. Let me see.
You could go ahead and bring her in.
All right. Margaret. I haven't seen Margaret in the coon's age. It's been a long, long time since I've seen Margaret, but here she is, everybody. Miss Margaret.
Hey,
What?
Darren.
Margaret, how
Hey,
are you?
everybody. Great right now.
Oh, good, good. How's everything going?
Well, I mean, just the fact that I have my son, but I still don't have my daughter.
Or so did your son come back to you? Or
Um,
did you win him?
well, what happened was he's 19 now. He remember the story when I
Yeah,
told you?
I sure do.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy that I have a younger son.
Okay.
And yeah.
How old's your younger son, Margaret?
Huh? 9.
Oh, 9. He's 9. And what's the situation with him?
Um, well, right now, I'm holding on to him as much as I
Oh,
can.
yeah. Is he with you still, or did they come and take him?
Huh?
Did they take him, or is he with you still? Your 9-year-old.
They tried millions of times.
So you've still been able to hold on to him?
Yep.
So what do you got, Margaret? What can you tell these people that are watching? How do you keep your son? How have you been holding on to him?
Well, one, I don't answer the door.
Right.
And, oh, I don't know if you guys got the message last time, but the a CPS person just walked straight into my mom's house.
Whoa.
Like
Wow.
my older son was moving out and
Right.
they followed him in.
Oh, wow. And what
Yeah.
happened?
It was funny. Well, my mom is so cool. She just said, "Get the hell out of my house."
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
But also they don't really listen. And then he pulls me aside in my house and he goes, "Well, come outside and talk with me." And I said, "No,
Right.
you have to talk to my lawyer first."
There you go.
And then get this, "What's your lawyer's name?" And I go, "Vince Davis."
Ha ha.
Yeah, and then he said, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Is he in Utah?" And I go, "No, but I could, get him on the phone right now if you would like to talk to him, or set up a meeting."
Yep. And did they do that?
Actually, no, I haven't heard from him since.
Oh wow. See, so that worked. Then once they realized who you had, it's all in who you
Yeah.
have sometimes, isn't it, Margaret?
Yeah, it's in the name. But like I said, by the skin of your teeth, just when you see them coming, just like you said, don't answer the door. Don't make that mistake because you have to invite them in. And the way he kind of came in, because he just passed up my son, they were moving stuff out in the
Yeah.
truck. And they go, oh, I'm here to see Margaret. And my son didn't, really pay attention. And he goes, oh, she's inside, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's how he got in. But no, but I have to, spend my whole life, walking on eggshells. I really want to see my daughter again.
Right.
It's been like, she turned 16 this year, like I did right on your guys' little thing.
Yep. Yep.
She's
No, I saw
turned,
that. Yeah.
yeah, turned 16 on July 5th.
Yep. No, I think we wished her happy birthday that day. I believe. Actually, I think we did. Because you had told
Yeah.
me that that was her birthday. Yeah. So, you have to go back and seek that episode out. So I'm pretty positive that we did.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I want to you guys keep it like positive and make it stronger. Even though it's been well, like I said, my son's 19, so it's been 14 years since I haven't seen anybody. 16, my
oh,
daughter. Yeah,
so that must have been great when you saw your son, huh?
yeah, he's
Convincing you.
been
Is
awesome,
hmm is
and
he
he's
different?
married.
Is it different since he's come home?
Well, I mean, like I told you in the previous interview, my sister adopted him, but
Right.
I had to move out of state
Yeah.
before he came home, so I was kind of
Right.
squeezed out in my own state, and
Sure.
I moved to Nevada for a little while. And the day that I got a job at the Nugget, he came home. The
Oh
day
wow.
when they
Good for you.
yeah, and so, but like they never get out of your life.
Mm-hmm.
CPS never gets out of your life, even if you think, okay, you won, you took my kids, like leave me alone, right? Let me,
Mm-hmm.
start my life over. But they'll never let you do this. They took away my my teaching degree. They took away every time I try to get a job and be stable. I only work for a place for the 90 days. I'm talking about even like McDonald's.
Yeah.
And like, remember the story I told you on, they were having a hiring day at McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
I got hired at a McDonald's. I was fully dressed. I went to work, and then
Well,
the
yeah,
system.
Margaret. Make sure you always go to the work. You gotta always make sure you're fully dressed when you go to work, Margaret.
Well, you know what I meant in
Right. All full.
uniform.
Right. All full garb. I got you. I'm just busting on you, Margaret.
I know, but anyway, so they told me to go clean that, and then in Spanish, the manager goes, "She can't work here,"
Oh,
and
because
I
you didn't
go,
understand.
like, "Excuse me," and then they were told I couldn't work any place that had a kids land,
Yeah.
kids playland.
Oh wow. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
and then then they said, okay, well, we hired you. Let's send you to this other location. So I
Yeah.
go over there with the manager and everything, and they go, oh, we hired our people already. And they asked this one girl, well, will you please trade with me? She wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then I didn't work at McDonald's. I had trouble right when they were taking away work, trying to get a job at Arby's, 7-Eleven. I'm just talking, not even in childcare. I mean, they
Right.
treated me, and then also I know it might be a separate thing, but I mean Utah is the right to work state,
Yeah.
and so I try to sue them, you know, but
Yeah.
CPS always gets involved. It's like, well,
Mhm.
okay, I mean, I can't work. They want to keep us unstable so we can
Yeah.
never get our child back, because then they could say, you haven't worked for the past year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So how can take care of a child when you can't even take care of yourself? That's a
That's right,
big
Margaret.
thing. And they don't like like people that might have, you know, good parents and money that might help you and give you some money. I mean, I'm not against working, you know. I tried so many times, you know. But so they don't only just strip you of your children. They strip you of jobs. They strip you of you know, life, liberty, you know, and the pursuit of happiness. The Constitution, basically.
Yeah.
They really do, you know.
Yeah, and
So it's
they're not following it. They're not following the Constitution. They're not following your rights, and they don't care about the rights that you uphold. And until you start rattling their cages, like you can't get anything done, right, Tiff?
yeah.
No. The problem is they put people on this federal registry for life, right?
Yep.
And anywhere you go get a job and they do a background check on you, it's going to pop up. It doesn't matter. Even if you weren't convicted of anything, it's going to pop up. And that's
Right.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm on that same list. I'm on the highest degree of abuse that I'm substantiated for, even though it had nothing to do with anything at all that had to do with anything. Had nothing to do with my child. No, nothing to do with a child. Period. But it still did happen. It still did take place.
You can sue to get off that list.
Can
All you
you?
have to do, because it's deprivation, it's not deprivation, it's deprivation, something with your character. I can't think of the word right now. But you can send it, you can download the form, send it in with your name on it, and they'll tell you if you're on it and what is on it on you. And then you can turn around and sue them, because that registry is really supposed to be for criminals, not civil shit.
Yeah.
And I get this. At the time that they took him away, I was at work.
Right. So there's nothing you can do about it.
There was, yeah, and Vicky's father, he had MS and he dropped her. Okay.
Right.
I come home from work and it's like, hurry, take her to the hospital, because he was, scared to call 911. I
Right.
took my baby to the hospital. They basically took a medical custody over her. The hospital that we took her to, they said they didn't have, it wasn't, for children, to take her to primary children's hospital. So they life flighted her, but they investigated me for an hour. And then I just saw the helicopter take her away. They wouldn't let me stay with her. Or, I mean, it was like, all I did was come home from work. And that day, that check I got for that freaking day was $45, and I lost 2 children.
It's awful, Margaret.
Yeah, and but then see, that's not where the real story stops. I mean, Sammy, when he was little, they just bugged me all his life, really, because he was, like I told you, he was considered a runner at, like, 1 or whatever. So they had a law that you had 0 to 2, you had to be able to, grab your kid, or it was neglectful, and not, non-supervision. They could be like right at your feet, right? But if you can't grab them with your arm, if they crawl away and they're little, you're not, supervision.
Right.
At least in Utah. And that's how it all started. And then they changed everything together with Sammy, like different calls and stuff. And then in the mix, I had Vicky. And they took her at 3 months because, you're not supposed to have another child when,
For sure.
well, you're kind of in the system. But I was with a plan with them that he had to go to their CPS kind of school that they have, like they put CPS children in and stuff like that. I agreed with that. I agreed with the plan and signed it stupidly, which, I regret that. And then even if the thing with Vicky didn't happen and Will didn't drop her. There was on November 4th, they were going to try to take them both away anyway, but the fall happened on they took them on October 19th.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's like I said, once you kind of get, and I mean all the, like I said, they're little things, non-neglect, supervision. Your house is messy, anything people call on you, and then they'll chain it together. And then when people say that they lie about it, no, they don't really lie about it. What happens is people forget what happens, right? They keep the record and they watch you behind closed doors, basically, and just watch you until they have enough, and people forget what happens in the, you know what I mean? But every little thing, you have to be a perfect parent, you know?
And it's
You know,
almost impossible.
it is impossible. But if you're poor, they'll keep watching you.
Well, in my
It's-
case, the CPS worker did lie. And when she got up there to testify for the state first, and then my lawyer questioned her, and my lawyer had both sets of records. My lawyer told the judge she wanted her whole testimony impeached because she was lying. And the judge impeached her whole testimony because she was lying. The state was dumbfounded, and they fired her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great, but that happens. But I think, or they, what do you call it? Turn they exaggerate things too.
Yeah.
They
It's a
do.
lot.
They blow things up.
Yeah,
Another thing too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Careful what you say around Tiff when you say that stuff.
You know what I mean about blowing things.
Yeah.
I don't mean physical. Oh, no, not that I never thought about it, but
Oh,
Oh
yeah, but
man.
you know what I mean.
I know. I got you, Margaret. I got you.
But yeah, so but like right now, and then I wouldn't talk. You guys talked about about that homeschool and stuff.
Yeah.
School is outrageous this year, and I'm proud of you guys about saying put that stuff on the bag, and and fight for your rights, because it's bad. They just want to keep stealing kids, basically. So
Yeah.
protect your kids. Let them stay in school. I mean, out of school and homeschool.
well, you can actually do that. It's called K through 12, and they send everything to your house. All you have to do is have a computer. That's it. And it's from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the letter that I took in there last year and that I mailed to Richmond, to the school board, Department of Education, and to the local school board and to the school, I haven't had any problems because they know I'm not playing with them.
Yeah.
Oh no, Miss Wise, we love you. I said,
Yeah.
oh, I
Come on
know
in, Miss
everybody
Wise.
does.
Yeah. Come on in, Miss Wise.
Yeah, you love me until you cross me.
Yeah.
Right. But it's kind of scary too. I mean, I was raised and I went to, private school my whole life, right? I mean, in the beginning when Sammy was like around 5, and they made me feel like I was inadequate. They even told me, oh, I hated education and I didn't want him to learn. I mean, that's what they literally told me. And I took him to Our Lady of Lourdes, which I knew the teacher and stuff. I mean, some teacher that gave me a award, it was like a PE teacher. But, I don't know what they were told, but their face was long and it felt like they heard something bad about me. You know what I mean? That
Right.
I wasn't the same person, which I was. And and every time I go to a school, which I got letters that I'm not supposed to be on a premises of a school. I mean, no, I'm serious. I got this letter saying,
Wow.
and that's why I won't put my kid in there. Oh, so you want to take my kid, but I'm not supposed to be on the premises.
Oh, I've been barred
Don't
off
neither
school
my
Wow.
property.
kid. Huh?
I was barred off of school property. I told all three of the principals I was going to whip their ass in the parking lot for putting their hands on my son. The only
Yeah.
thing they did was trespass me. And I said, you can't do that. My child goes to school here. I sure did walk my fat ass right up in that school. I dared them. Call the police. I dare
Mhm.
you.
Yep. It
I
didn't
mean,
work.
I actually worked through the Salt Lake School District. I was a a teacher actually. They took that away from me, and then they
Mm.
wanted to make it look like I never graduated high school. On my
Yep.
trial, they embarrassed me. You know.
Yep. Yep.
But now maybe I might not, wear a suit or something like that, or a dress or something. But I still have it, upstairs. But I still don't like the way after they took them, adopted them out. That day I went back to the University of Utah, to finish my degree. I walked, but they wouldn't give me my diploma, and so I called them and I go, "Oh, yeah, we can't take away everything you learned, but you can't get a diploma in in education. You can't get a diploma in what do you call it? The social whatever. They wouldn't give me my bachelor's degree of science.
All because of CPS.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're treating me like and like about school. And then I have to go, oh, is it just me or are they picking on me, right? And then when I heard about that they do take licenses away, they say I can't have any license. It's not just kids, a business license, a law license, this, and I have it on
Yeah.
paper. Like anytime I get a job for
They
90 days.
listen to me. They're fucking lying to you. First of all, you don't
Mm-hmm.
need a license to do anything. Okay, it's your constitutional right. It is your right to support yourself. You could start a home daycare there without a license. You could own a detail and temp business without a license. You can do anything you fucking want without a license. A license is nothing but more money for the state. Here's the thing. I wish somebody would drag my
Mm-hmm.
ass into court over a fucking license because everybody's going to get a lesson in the
Yeah.
state and the Constitution. Okay, judge, jury, DA, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. You don't need a license. Ask them um what is their investment in your business, right? What
Exactly.
what is your financial gain? None. I've even told them you want to run shit over here. Then my house $500,000. You can buy it and then you can run shit over here, but I won't be here.
But I don't know how they do it. Like I went in to try to get a couple of business licenses before, and I always get a letter coming back and saying, you can't do this. But then I kind of went around it one time, and they say if you want to sell stuff off of eBay and not sell too much stuff or what out of your home, you don't need a business license up until you make a certain amount of money.
You don't need it then. That's what I'm telling you. They can listen to me. If you own your property, I mean, besides the bank owning it with you, the bank doesn't care what you do as long as they're getting paid. I know this to be a true fact. They
Mm-hmm.
cannot make you pay for a business license. They have no investment in your business other than to collect money from you.
Right.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm really trying to, get out of Utah. But get this, what happened, like the whole story when I think our interview with Darren was about 2 or 3 hours. And I told him the story that I go, okay, I want to change. I want to, move to Vegas. Right. So I try to enroll. I go, let me, enroll my son into, school up there. Right. We were staying in the Excalibur, right? And I was also looking for other apartments. My mom even gave me the tuition, for non-residency, I paid that. Then I get a knock at the door at 8 o'clock in the morning
Mhm.
while I was, dressing Michael
Good
up.
Lord. Right.
And they said it was basically CPS. And I'm like, you know what? And then I wouldn't open the door. Right? It's the Excalibur. Then they had the guy of security with them of the Excalibur. And then they said, if I don't open the door, they're going to call a real police. I didn't want him to get taken away in Vegas, okay? I don't want them to get taken away in Vegas. So, never mind. It wasn't Excalibur. It was Circus Circus. Michael reminded me because we always say in Excalibur. Okay, it was Circus Circus. So then I left there. I called my sister. When we walked around by the GM, they actually had somebody follow us, and my son's like, I'm not going to be taken today. And I go, no, you're not going to be taken today, because they told me I had to tell them what hotel I was going to, how many plans. I did let her in and talk to her. And she said, well, call me back at 4:30 if you decide to leave this hotel or go back home.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
right.
went to actually get that. And so she kept calling and calling. And my son had the cell phone in his pocket. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to be taken today. He threw the phone off of the bridge, and it landed in a garbage can. So when we got down on the floor, there was somebody was going to try to get us. But lucky there was a lot of people in Vegas, right? So they couldn't, grab him. And he was like me. I called my sister. I got to this restaurant. I called my sister and I said, can you come and pick us up? She's in Utah. And she's like, well, can't you just take the bus home? And I tried to tell her, no, it's not safe. Because I told the CPS worker that that she was asking me questions about Sammy. She's like, oh, is your son here? And then I go, yeah, you're looking at him. And and she said, not that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, what son? He, who was adopted. I don't have him in my life. And I go, well, anyway, it's 8 o'clock. He should be in, at high school right now. And she wouldn't stop. And I go, she was adopted by my sister. And I go, you guys should know that. That's what I told them. Oh, and she goes, oh, we'll call your sister. And so I'm like, fine. So then my sister, I hurried in. I think she called me before CPS called. And I threw my phone. I took it out of the garbage before that, whoever he was, a detective, reached over to look in the garbage. But anyway, so I got my phone back. And I told my sister, oh, I got a call from them. And I go, she goes, I'll tell you what, I'll meet you in Mesquite, right? Can you make it to Mesquite? So get this, I didn't even use my real name. I bought a bus ticket. We changed Michael's name. And I think I put a girl's shirt on him. Anyway, so because I had that just for protection. Anyway, so I put like a girl's shirt on him. He has kind of long hair, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We literally sneaked
Right.
back to Mesquite. When we got to Mesquite, my sister, I thought, okay, let me just play, one thing of blackjack or something. And then, because she said she got a free hotel, okay? She kind of hurried there and she didn't want to stay the night. The people that checked us in said, they were kind of, trying to stall my sister, saying, you have to give us your, what do you call it, your license plate of the car and blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, no, my nephew is hungry. I drove a long way, and really I don't have to give you that. And then there was like a McDonald's just like kind of across the street. We jumped in the car. Security followed us all around the damn thing on foot. all around. So we pretended we were
Yep.
going, to. I think my sister was going to pay $27, but on foot. And I go, and he just stayed there. We kind of parked by the garbage for a little while, and just see it. And the guy kept watching us and watching us. And then my sister backed out. We went to pick up something at McDonald's through the drive-in. Then we went try to go back. We never stayed there. Came back to Utah. Still, they try to contact her. But like I said, I've been really close for him getting taken away many times. But knock on wood, we escape them. We try to do the right thing. But every time I
Yep.
want to do the right thing, stay in a place, get a job, put them in school, they start shit. Anytime I try to want to be stable, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they need to be stopped. And, we have to sue the butts out of them,
Yes, we do, Margaret. We sure as hell do.
Yeah.
Tiff, what do you got for Margaret? Anything? Got any insight for Margaret?
The only thing I'm going to say is two things actually. I believe Trump signed an executive order that gave parents the right to put their children in whatever school they want. That includes homeschool, online school, whatever. And the other thing is, if don't send your son to school if you don't want to. K through 12 is free and it is recognized nationally. The only thing you have to do is when he gets older, they will send you to the nearest school for all his testing. That's it. They send everything. Everything comes to you.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the commercials. I actually tried it once. But what really scares me about that now is I did kind of file, I wanted to get in because, like you said, I tried it. Because you know how you don't have to, by law, have your kid go to kindergarten, right? And so I tried it, just test it because they also give you a computer too, a laptop to use. And so anyway, so I did the whole thing, but see what happened was I couldn't get Michael up and at 9 o'clock because they took roll. They did the like a whole school and all the kids, since it was a kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, all the kids were in their pajamas. It was relaxed, but they had a real teacher. And then the parents could see what they're doing and click on the whole row of kids. But however, when now he's in 4th grade, right, and they have all these questions on the thing, and one of the questions that really bugged me on there was are you unstable, not stable, unstable. And then the second question was, well, obviously, do you rent or blah, 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 or are you homeless or,
Right.
are you an immigrant, blah, blah, blah. And then for proof of residency, what they did was I watched their little video, and, you guys could watch it too. It's on the K-12 thing. And it says the person that's enrolling the child must be, their parent or a legal guardian by law. Okay. 2, they have to be the name on the lease of the apartment or home. And then it said also, if you're not doing that, you at least have to be on the utility bill. That was part of this. And what I'm afraid of, that they're trying to turn it so that now your house is open for CPS. But see what I did 1st through 3rd was I actually homeschooled them at our main library, and did that. I wasn't really at home. I went to different libraries in Utah. I took him, stuff like that, and like I told him, from 8 to, school hours, he couldn't play video games or whatever, and unrelated stuff at the library. But we took maybe 15 or 20-minute breaks in between, our lessons and stuff like that. But we had all the time we were at a library, or most of the time, or we would go to places and museums, and that's what's cool about it. But no, I did not. But I think with K-12, they made me feel like, with the questions they asked, like I said, to have CPS could just come in at any time, and see if you're teaching him. And I figure, well, if
Well,
I'm doing it at the library, anybody could see what I'm doing. I'm not
well,
breaking the law. I have the school district's little thing that you have to sign that's saying you are homeschooling, and then
Mm-hmm.
the affidavit saying that you sign and say that school district doesn't have any responsibility on the education of your child. Parents could educate them any way they want. That there's no set schedule. You do not, well, in Utah, you do not have to take any state's tests. Only if you want to see where your kids matches up with the state, but you don't have to.
well,
So that's
schools were really built for two reasons. They were built to teach people the prison life or the factory life. That's just how it is. But they ask the same questions even when you put them in school, because I had a problem with that too. I'm like, this is a setup.
exactly,
Um,
that's how I felt.
right, because it was like, do you live in a car? Do you live in a house? Do you live in this? Do you live da 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 da? I'm like, and I even told the school, I said, this has nothing to do with education. And I'm not answering these questions, but the reason that I'm here is because you need to read this, because I don't contract with CPS, but you do. And if anybody talks to my child outside of education, I'm going to sue you. But let me answer some of these questions real quick. Christine, the tax thing, the IRS is very clear. Whoever lives with the children gets to claim them. It used to be half and half, right? Like it used to be, if the child lived with one parent for 6 months and the other parent for 6 months, they would split the money. So check into the IRS website. That's all I can tell you about that. And and how do you fight the what if game? That is so hard, because the what if game, I still play it, and I'm a grandmother, right? I mean, I still play it, right? Like my grandkids will go out, because my kids are grown. My grandkids will go outside, and I'm like, what if the car doesn't see them and you know, they're playing down, what if they fall off the jungle gym? What if they fall off the swing? I play the what if game. You're going to play it your whole life. But I will tell you this. I would definitely keep my child, if you don't feel
Mm-hmm.
safe with them
Yeah.
going to school, keep them
Mhm.
home. Keep them home.
That's right. Yep. That's right.
Because CPS and the schools do contract. But you have to remember, CPS contracts with everybody but the parents.
Yep.
Yeah. Why is that? Why do you see? Why are why are they just giving that clear carte blanche? You know what I mean? When everything else is such a task, CPS just seems to be able to have and it's after one of our most coveted possessions, one of our most protected possessions. That's our child, but yeah, we give it up. I mean, even just to sign into the website, you gotta show a picture ID and this, that, and the other. In some instances, to verify. Why is speakers not that way?
Well, why is what?
Speakers, like DJ speakers. What?
Well, this is
Hmm?
what I do know. I know that CPS contracts with the doctors, the daycares, the hospitals, the pediatricians. They contract with everybody.
Right.
Child support contracts with the banks, your job, everybody that has financial interest in that's the word I was looking for earlier with the business
Mm.
license. Ask them what their
Mhm.
financial interest is, because they have none. But this is the most important thing that I tell everybody. You have a good rapport with the teachers, the principals, the daycare workers. your doctors. You have to keep that good rapport with them, even if you don't like them, because you never know when you're going to need them.
Right. You don't know what it could be. Any given thing that sets them off just to make a report on you. It could be anything.
Anything. Mhm.
That's just. So what else, Margaret? Is that it for you?
Um, I I'm willing to take any questions or whatever. But
Yeah, sure, sure. Does anybody have questions for Margaret? Margaret's been, and yes, Deidre, this is Margaret from us, with Mr. Davis. To answer your question there, it is her in the flesh. That's her right here. Um, so yeah, Margaret's been around with us for quite some time. Margaret, how long have you been fighting the system?
well, my son's 19. 19 years.
Oh
Basically
wow,
since since
wow.
he was 1. 18 months, yeah.
I mean, have you ever had a time that you thought you were going to give up?
Uh, well, I told my son, well, when they first, when the adoption went through, and my private attorney, like, took off his tie, threw it down in front of me, and says, it's over. Yeah, my first thought was, you know, I felt like I died inside, like my kids died,
Mm-hmm.
and and the next like 3 days, I went kind of like a spiral. I mean, I used to, occasionally go to Wendover, to gamble. Like ever since I was 21, I'm not a gambler. You know what I mean. But it's just maybe an hour drive, hour 20-minute drive away from Utah. You know, and then they have like this bus that takes you, just for fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then there was this, people really liked me up there or whatever. And so I just spiraled out of control. I took my car and I drove. I called this guy who drove a shuttle, and he asked me so many times, to go out. I never did, with him, and he drove a shuttle. But I called him up. I told him, I lost, my, the
Yep.
kids, and he goes, come over to my house. So I drove. He was a truck driver, and he knows how long it took to, from where I was, and I was like on 99, and he goes like this to me. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna be here in like maybe an hour or so." And I, got there, and when I got there, he goes, "Did you lie? What you told me where you were?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "Calculated. You must have been going over 100 to get here." And then after that, I was, like I said, spiraled, out of control. I couldn't get jobs here, like I said. Made me feel like dirt, like, oh, and I thought to myself, the only place I could go was to a place that, no children, were there. It's known for, adult gambling and whatever.
Yeah.
And then the two guys, they were undercovers. Well, it's a long story, like I told you before, but like to make it a little bit short. Then like one of the undercovers go, "Why don't we move to this place?"
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, Doug goes, the guy I was talking to, he goes, "Here, why don't we move to Oregon? My mother lives out there," and blah 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 blah. Because I lost my kids. I'm like, "Oh right." And then the other one goes, "Well, if you want to stay here and live here, why don't you move here, Wendover?" And then, like I said, when I moved there, but like I said, he had a pool. He was undercover, and they said that they had to hire me. He literally told the
Wow.
Nugget that they had to hire me
Oh,
because,
that's good.
see, and I don't know, he wanted to take me somewhere else too. And my mom goes, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Just wait a week, calm down, wait a week. But at first, like I said, when I was driving 99, hour, I mean, I wouldn't have cared if I got in an accident or died.
Right.
I was in that kind of mentality. So, um, so Doug, in a way, kind of saved me, but he was an undercover. I found out that later on. Anyway,
Wow.
but and
Wow.
but he kind of like saved my life and goes, just stay. And then my mom's like, no, you don't want to move to Oregon. You never know what's going to happen. Even if they got adopted out, maybe Gigi's going to keep trying to get him. That's my sister, because they were adopted out to strangers. And then they were moved to Wisconsin, because they didn't want them nowhere in my life. So they took them from Utah to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I heard, I called my sister and said, oh, look, or my mom, I go, I got a job. I'm working at the Nugget. I'm starting on Friday. And my mom goes, oh, cool. Do you want me to come out, me and Gigi to come out, to hang with you? And then I heard Sammy in the background, because they were like at a restaurant, which, I'm thinking they're gone and he's in Wisconsin. And I swear I heard like Sammy in the background. And my sister, I go to my sister, I just heard Sammy laugh. And my sister goes, oh, you're crazy.
Wow.
There's no Sammy. And then when they came, Sammy was in the car.
Oh,
and
whoa.
my sister was able to adopt him.
Oh, wow. That's good stuff.
And he was 9 years old. So they had him for 4 years. But they decided to keep my daughter. They wouldn't give her to my sister. They kept my daughter, the baby, you know what I mean? One, I kind of know why, because they had different fathers. So, and plus they keep the baby. And the thing that we signed that they had to, be adopted together, I didn't want them separated.
Right.
But those people probably just wanted Vicky from the get-go and not, Sammy.
Right.
So, yeah,
Hey, Margaret, let's have you come on. Let's stop it there, 'cause there's a couple of questions that we need to get to for Tiffany here.
Okay.
Before we end. So let's have you, I'll get you an email and I'll have you come back on next week so you can finish this part of the story, because I know it's good stuff. So I'll be in touch with you this week and I'll let you know when to come in. Is that cool with you? So Tiffany can answer some of these questions?
That's, great.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Margaret. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Margaret, and we'll see you next week, all right?
All right, I'm always here, and I'll, love to talk to you guys.
All right, perfect.
And everyone.
So awesome, Margaret. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye, dear. Wow, she's got quite a story, Margaret. Love Margaret.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
I want to know why this child was moved 2,000 miles away from his parents.
Let's see. CPS moved him 2,000 miles away, and I'm trying to get him home. Jesus, that's halfway across the United States.
Yeah, it's 3,000 miles from Virginia to
California. Right.
So yeah, that I want to know why the child. Can you come on tomorrow night, because we're past our hour?
Yeah, we get Keel in here.
Yeah, let's bring him on tomorrow. Because I want to know, I want to talk to that person. And Dr. Death, I see you, and I haven't been ignoring you. I've just been really busy, and I've been going through a lot of stuff. But I did want to tell you that. And if Henry jumps on, wasn't ignoring him either. But after 3 o'clock my time, it gets real hectic around here until this time. So, okay, well, he can come on tomorrow. So we'll send him
tomorrow night. Yeah. Yep. All right. So send us an email at CPSV Hunting Justice, and we will get you on the show so we can answer that question for you. And hey, guys, you heard Margaret's story tonight, so that was great hearing from Margaret. She's been a trooper. I mean, she's been fighting for a long time. So thank you, Margaret, for coming in. Tiff, I'm going to go try again to get on with Mr. Dave. We'll see if that happens or not. So Oh, geez, Tiff. I've been busy too. No, Lord. Not being selfish. I just have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Kale, can you reach out to us, CPSB Hunting Justice at Gmail. And don't forget Beauty and Ashes tonight. It's on in today's Monday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Beauty and Ashes tonight, guys, in 20 minutes. Make sure you watch that. Have a good night, everybody.
Our government is taking it away and trying to deprive us. Our kids are taken every day by CPS agents looking for prey. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. We have found the one and only solution. There's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is the show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher's abolished all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. We all admit the times are hard. No little children in the front yard. Tiff and Punisher are fighting so hard. They're waging war, on their side is God. They don't stop if they get in trouble. They fighting for the children, double trouble. The strength they need, they get from each other. They have each other's back like sister and brother. They are Tiff and the Punisher, saving the families from corruption. They want you to join their movement, no repercussion. You need to learn that thing called the Constitution. Inside that document is our solution. CPS, we have your number. We are coming for you, hear our thunder. Your fate is sealed, have a nice day. You won't break another family. No more trauma for kids, that's like blasphemy. Keep your thoughts to your own ideals. Soon enough, you'll be clicking your heels. Because you need to go to jail. All of us fathers will be chugging down an ale. The mothers will squeeze their young ones tight as CPS workers are locked down for the night. They had a choice they didn't make. Now they spend their days in crates. They should know it's wrong to kidnap. So from all of us, this is your payback. There's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is their show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher's abolished all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show.
That's all we need to get on with this fight. The document that most people court barely read in light. Pick the parts that pertain to your case. Show them the results and spit in their face. We are Tiff and the Punisher, fighting together, displaying our unity with birds of a feather. If it's a million, that's great, but one is just the same. We'll bring these kids home and know every name.
We will smoke every social worker in court. Their heads down with no support. The country knows CPS is doing wrong. If they don't, then play them our song. We are Tiff and the Punisher.